thanks very much for joining us on VIP TV. A pleasure to get a word from you because we've seen you on social media, but we haven't heard too much from you for a long time now, certainly this year. I understand you're planning to get your British Boxing Board of Control licence back in the next few weeks and fight in October. Is that true, and where are we at the moment with that?
Firstly, Steve, thanks for having me on. It's always a pleasure, mate. So yeah, basically just waiting on a date to go and sit in front of the board now. Basically been told that I have to sit in front of the board to reapply for my license, and I'm just waiting on a date. So I've sent off for my license, sent everything off that I need to send off. I'm just waiting on a date to go up to London, sit in front of them. Obviously, the coronavirus has done us no favours, so just waiting on that, mate. And then fingers crossed, as soon as I've sat in front of them, should have the go ahead for October the 31st is the date we've penciled in with Mo Pryor.
I mean, you've been out for 3.5 years. Fortunately, you're still a young man, shall we say, in boxing terms. What's happened to you? You look young anyway. What's happened during that 3.5 years?
What's happened in that last 3.5 years? There's been ups, there's been downs. The obvious thing is obviously I went away. I went into prison, but don't really want to touch base on that too much because I want to move forward. But look, I blew up to over 18 stone, fat, unfit, depressed. Got to a stage where I felt so unhealthy, it was starting to become a problem in life. So got myself back into the gym, started training just to really get the weight down, to be honest with you, because I was struggling to get off the settee, if I'm completely honest. I know it might sound funny, but to do up my shoelace was starting to become a training session for me. So, look, yeah, no, I was massive. I was extremely, extremely unhealthy, extremely overweight. And yeah, like, I just started boxing to do a bit, started going to the gym to do a bit of training to lose a bit of weight. And then next minute, everything starts to come back to you. You start to miss it yet again. And look, we're back here now, and I want to give it a bloody good go again. So fingers crossed, mate.
Yeah. So when you said it was affecting your life, was it making you unhappy, depressed? Could you seriously not do your shoes up? Was you out of breath doing your shoes up?
Mate, I'm not underplaying it, mate. I was struggling to do my shoelace up. I remember walking through town with my kids, my shoelace come undone, and I had to take myself to a bench to be able to pick my leg up to do my shoelace. And by the time I got up from doing it, I was drenched of sweat, and just got to a stage where it was like, enough's enough. Do you know what I mean? I mean, when am I going to stop going up in weight? 1 minute I was 15 stone, then I was 16 stone, then I was 18 stone, 18 and a half stone. It was like, something needs to give now. It's either I want to end up having an heart attack or come and pull it back down. So yeah, look, the wife said to me, I've had another child, so I've got a son now as well. And obviously I want to see them grow up. I mean, going on the way I was, eating like an absolute beast, I probably would have ended up having a heart attack and would have been dead in a few years. So
when did the penny drop with you that you wanted to come back to boxing? Obviously, the penny was dropping with you when you were all the weight. But when did the penny drop when you thought, hold on here, I can come back and be a champion boxer again and get back in the world rankings?
Barry brought some sparring in.
That's Barry Smith, your trainer, yeah?
Barry Smith's now my boxing coach, yeah. Showed bundles of loyalty to me as well over the past year and a half. Like I walked in the gym, like I said, 18.5 stone. He stuck by me the whole way, and now I'm here under 12 stone, knocking on the door now. So, it got to a stage where I started getting down to about 14 stone, and Barry brought some sparring in, and he was like, do you want to have a little bit of a move about? And I was like, yeah, go on. I ain't got a gum shield, but go on, I'll get in and have a go. And he went, all right, look, put your head guard on, put your 14-ounce gloves on, have a little go. So I got in the ring. These were kids that were undefeated. I think it was 11-0, 12-0. Got in, and it was like everything just come back. It was a walk in the park. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I was perfect, but everything just come back to me. And it was like, I'm not going to say the old Mitchell Smith, but I was doing things that these kids 11 and 12 and 0 getting ready to box, and I was just doing almost turning them on their heads, being unfit and fat. And I just thought, do you know what, Barry? Let's give it a proper go now. Let's have a proper go and see where we get. I honestly thought I was going to be able to get my license last year. That's why I started training last year. But obviously, I had to oversee a few things. I was still on license, etc., etc., and I didn't realise the process of having to be off license before you got into ring. So in the ring, so it's been a longer process. But yeah, look, I think it was that day that I was in the gym sparring, and everything started coming back to me. And I think the week after that sparring session, you go into the gym with a different mindset. You're hitting the pads as if you almost in camp. It's almost if you're in training camp, like trying to get sharper and sharper. And look, like I said, like we're not too far off now. I generally believe come October, I'll be there or thereabouts, mate. I'll be okay.
What weight are you aiming to get down to now? I mean, I know you was a super feather before, but you're now 4 years older than when you were doing super feather. So, realistically, what weight do you think you can get down to for championship level?
For championship level, probably lightweight is the weight I've got in mind. I'm not gonna write super feather off because I don't know what I'm gonna be like. Like I said, I was 11.10 this morning. I'm still 2.5 stone off that. So, or yeah, 2.5 stone off that. So, or 3 stone off that. What am I to 9, 10? Yeah, 2.5 stone off that. So, I'm not gonna write it off because I've still got fat around me. But lightweight seems to be more realistic. I'll be completely honest with you. I wouldn't turn down fights at light welter neither. Yeah. So I know I've not got the height. I'm only standing 5'5.5". I will add the half in, but look, I believe I've got the strength at light welter as well. But realistically, to move on to bigger and better things, probably lightweight.
Yeah, Ben Davidson saw you spar, didn't he?
Yes, he did. Yeah,
I had a coffee with him a few months ago. Yeah. I did an interview with him, and we were just chatting afterwards, just generally having a coffee out boxers. And he just said out of the blue, he said, "I tell you should be a world champion now, Mitchell Smith."
Yeah, I know. Yeah, don't make me feel bad. I'll have a nightmare tonight.
No, where do you think? Okay, if you hadn't had your issues, look, things went wrong. Everyone knows what went wrong. Yeah. Where do you think you'd be now? Because if you look at the super featherweights, there's guys now up there, okay, Kakachi, Ward, Bowen, Zelfa Barrett, Archie Sharp, who most probably were coming through in 4 rounds when you were number 2 and 3 in the world.
Yeah, but to be honest with you, Steve, I can't put myself in their league at the moment because.
No, yeah, I know that, but how do you feel that those guys have gone flying past you now when they were having 4 rounders when you were number 3 in the world and they were talking world title fights?
I didn't show enough dedication. I'm not here to say that I would have or I wouldn't or I will. Look, good luck to the boys. They've all showed dedication. They've all showed that they can mix it at that level. And look, eventually, if I manage to get myself there or thereabouts, listen, I might turn up on October 31st and be a load of rubbish. But on the other hand, I might turn up and look $1 million. Look, we won't know until it happens. And if it happens and I look great and in a year's time I'm in there mixing it with the boys again, then I'll be able to talk about how good I am.
Yeah, because before when you were all guns blazing, number 3 in the world, when look, you were just training sometimes to do weight and going and mullering people because you've got that talent in you. So, I mean, where's this Mitchell Smith come from who's not calling out anybody? I mean, it was great to hear then and you're great to hear now.
Look, I don't know, I suppose it's maturity. I'd be disrespectful to be talking the way I used to be talking in the state that I'm still in now and to be talking after what I've come through, etc., etc. I'm 3.5 years out of the ring. I need to prove that I'm in the same league as them before saying anything at all. So I'd rather keep my mouth shut, let my hands do the talking when I eventually get in the ring. Good luck to the boys, man. I don't wish bad on any of them.
That's terrific. Do you have fears that you could be, you're someone, young boxer of the year, you know all the accolades that were thrown at you, that you could get to your mid-30s and you haven't made the money you should have out of boxing, and you're having to go to work for a living?
Well, this is pretty much, this is a great question, because I've sat down with my team. I sat down with John, my manager Mo Pryor, my trainer Barry, my dad John Smith, and this is the main thing that it does worry me, because it would be devastating to think I've been in the boxing game since I was 6. It's all I've known. It's all I've done. And to be able to walk out of it at 33, 34 year of age with not a penny in my pocket would be absolutely, I'd be gutted. It would be so muggy upon myself. So from now until I finish is more or less looking after money. Whatever money we earn, we save. And I've got a little bit of a dream. I've got a little bit of a dream, and I want to buy a house with a little bit of land on, and build a lake, and that's my dream. And it can be touching distance when I get back fighting. So I want to make my kids proud. You know, I got 3 step kids and 2 children of my own, and my wife, and I want to build something for us as a family. You know. Look, I remember talking 5-6 years ago as if I was Mayweather, and how much money I'm going to win and how much I'm going to achieve. And realistically, if I can walk out the game with what I've just told you, I'll be happy. It would mean the world to me. So look, I know that would make my kids proud.
If you walked out of boxing and you was mortgage free and had a little bit of land, you wouldn't have to earn a lot. You know, you'd have to earn money, but you wouldn't have to be getting up at 6 o'clock every morning, 5 days a week.
Exactly, that's it. I mean, I would hate to do a whole career, especially going through what I've been through, and then have to go and work on a roof for the rest of my life, or until I'm 60 years of age. If I was on the outside looking in, I'd be saying, he's a mug. So it's down to me now. It's down to me now to get it right.
And tell us a bit about your team. I know you've got a small team. Can you just tell us who's involved with us? I know that, Barry, John and Mo. Can you tell us their roles? You know, tell us a bit about them all and what they're doing for you.
So for starters, Barry's obviously looking after me in the gym. He's coaching me, he's training me, etc., etc. He's doing a fantastic job. Managed to strip the weight off of me. With that, I've got John Clark, which is my dietitian. He's obviously on the diet, as well as him and Barry obviously doing a lot of talking, because between the two of them is how I'm losing weight. Obviously, I've got John Geimer. He helps me with the financial side of things as well. He's putting me in the right place, also sorting out my PR and all of that, and my marketing and all that sort of stuff. So then I've got my dad, John, who I live away from Sunday to Friday every week, away from my kids, so that he does my cooking, takes me to training, etc., etc. I have Derek Port, who does my strength and conditioning. It's a new man. I've had him for the past
pictures of him. Yeah,
I've had a new fella in for the past 3 months, and I think that's pretty much it. Obviously, my wife does fantastic to let me stay away. Sunday to Friday. Not many women would let people do that, especially when I'm not bringing in a pound note at the moment.
Yeah.
And obviously Mo Pryor doing my managing side of the boxing. Between us, we're very tight knit. We're all in contact with each other. And although I'm not in the boxing ring at the moment, we still have to be on the phone to each other an awful lot, because things are starting to happen now. It's a year ago I wasn't doing interviews. So when I do my first one, I done my first one the other day, and these are pretty much my first ones, and I think I'm going to leave it there for a little while. But it all feels so surreal again. Like it doesn't feel like I've been out for the 3.5 years. It's like, oh my God, like it feels like only last week I was doing these. But look, things are really, I can see them happening. Like a year ago, I was like, when's this going to end? Like, have I really got the mental discipline to be able to see the next 1.5 years out? Honestly, I didn't think I did, but it's come around quick, and October will come around even quicker. And before you know it, it'd be 2021. I'll be knocking on the door for a title.
I know you're not offering excuses. You're very open about it. You're not shouting what you're going to do, what you're not going to do. You've laid out what you'd like to achieve from boxing, but did a lot of this happen for you? You were so young and immature. You was earning proper money. You was in national papers. You was on TV all the time. did it happen, you know, when you were still a boy, really? But you was a 21-year-old man. There was still a boy in you, and you was even a father.
In my honest opinion, Steve, yeah, it happened too young. Also, what I think happened was I started to fall out of love with boxing and in love with the lifestyle it gave me. So therefore, what I'm saying is going out with different women and going out to nightclubs and enjoying nights out and big dinners and the big pay packets that I was earning at the time. And what happened with that is I forgot about how I'm getting it and just went out and done it. And then thought, once this started running out, it was like, oh, I'll go back to boxing, fight again, earn some more money, and then go out and do that again. So I enjoyed the lifestyle more than I enjoyed the boxing part of it. And I think that began to show, you know, losing to Jupp, the dedication wasn't there, the discipline wasn't there, and it showed I wasn't the athlete that I was at the start of my career because I enjoyed the boxing at the start of my career.
What can I say, Mitchell? It's brilliant talking to you. And you said people might look at you and they might have an opinion of you, but all I can say, I've known you since you turned professional, and if people actually knew you and had sat down with you, and if they have got a thing against you, they'll think different of you. I guarantee that. I really do.
Thanks.
You know,
I appreciate that.
I've seen that. I've been to your house even. You know, and I know what you're about, and you're a good person. All I can do is hope it works for you, and you get what you want out of this boxing return.
Thanks, Steve, man. I appreciate that, mate.
Thank you, mate.
For all boxing info, news, and latest interviews, amateur and pro across the north, click and subscribe. VIP Boxing Promotions. Also, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.